Hello, guys. Welcome to the Uptakes podcast. In this episode, I have myself, Mark, Jello, Jamo, Ravi, and also Miles. Today, we'll be discussing a few things that has happened during the off season. Our recent tournament in NSAC continues, and our winning ways continues as well. This Sunday, we won against the Adamson Soaring Falcons to the tune of, what was our score again? 87-60, a dominant win that allowed us to punch through to the quarterfinals. No, so in this particular game, POG yet again was VJ Pre. So with this win, like I mentioned, we're going to the quarterfinals against another familiar foe, the NU Bulldogs, and that will be held on May 23. This time around sa Razon na. Nag-shift ng konti ang ating schedule. So guys, what do you think about this particular victory and game? Simulan natin, Miles. Kamusta?
Well, the round of 16 was all about one thing, no, for all teams, and that's avoid embarrassment, no. Yung mga favorite, wag kayong mapapahiya doon sa mga kalaban nyo. And I think for the most part, no, in all of the games dito sa round of 16, lahat ng favorites nanalo, including UP of course against Adamson. Now, takot na takot tayo sa Adamson usually kasi yeah, granted the home court, no, but alam natin yung Adamson, they can get really hot against us. In fact, yung mga sina Ray Allen Torres palagi nag-iinit against us. So they really have this ability to turn games against UP into one of those annoying upset script games, no? Yung nag-iinit sila, all of their contested shots are coming in. And at the same time tayo, hindi makapasok kahit libre. So ano nangyayari, nagpapanik tayo, no? But for this game, the law of averages quickly worked against them, no? They were taking a lot of contested threes, and unfortunately for them, that's not a good look. That's really not a good look, and it says so much about the problems that Adamson has to answer for the upcoming season. So this big win was as much as being a really good team. No, I think we're starting to flex those dominance muscles, but at the same time, it's also reflective of what Adamson has to address for the upcoming season. They have no real main man, no. I mean, they have the three-headed monster of Montebon who didn't play in that game yesterday, no. Erolon and Torres, but none of them have that go-to guy DNA, no, na Manzano had, and especially Jerome Lastimosa had, no. Arguably si Jerome talaga yung last superstar that they had. I don't think Manzano was at that same level. He was a star. Pero yung game-changing superstar, the last one they had was Jerome. And that's the difference between really deep and really well-drilled teams, though, and the teams that make it to the playoffs, the teams that actually matter in the postseason, na may mga superstars. Now, for us, of course, BJ Pre, what can we say, you know? This is his second player of the game citation in the tournament. And like we said, going back, yung mga listeners natin, sana kinalma nyo lang, di ba? Ayan. At mabuti naman at kinalma ninyo kasi, ayan, nakita naman natin yung resulta ng training ni VJ Pre. No? VJ Pre really looking very quick out there. He's so much better than when he was at FEU. Not only is he quicker, but he's also scoring within the system. Kung mapapansin nyo, karamihan ng points niya, hindi yun dahil they just gave Fred the ball and told DJ to just do something.
Off-ball yan.
Right.
Off-ball plays.
They did. Correct. That's what they did in FEU, no? Binibigay lang nila yung bola sa kanya, do something with it. Here, he was scoring within the system. Something na gustong-gusto ng foreign scouts, especially the Koreans. I think na banggit din to, I think nabanggit din to na Naveen somewhere, no, na tawag dito, Korean scouts were actually looking at VJ Pre. He's one of the players na tinitingnan ng Korean scouts right now na report to sa All-Star Magazine. And hopefully, 2 taon sa atin si Pre.
Pero wag muna ngayon.
Wag muna ngayon, please. Again, alam niyo naman ang UP fans, hindi tayo selfish. We want what's best for our players, but for now, that's still far into the future. For now, we really like what we see with VJ Pre. Sana tuloy-tuloy na a really, really amazing field goal percentage by VJ Pre and by UP in general. No? We had 54 points in the paint 28 second chance points. So it wasn't just VJ Pre carrying the
Right.
team in this game. No, it was a really UP, a very UP kind of win, a very coach goal kind of win. No, na we scored in waves, we dominated. It's just that for this game, the ball, the open shot usually found its way to VJ Pre. And how could it not? Kasi there's no person in the Adamson, the specifically the roster of Adamson has no answer for the kind of player VJ Pre is. And also, I think we'll go to this later, no? Mapag-usapan natin later. What do you think, guys? Pero they also didn't have the kind of person to, at least in that game, hindi natin alam kung may iba pa silang players na tinatago kasi may mga DNP sila for this game. Eh. But they didn't have the kind of player na kayang sumagot kay Sean Alter. Sean Alter
Yeah.
dominated the bench guys of Adamson. Like, if you remove the FSA out of the picture, kinakain sila ni Sean Alter. So, yun, that was the story of the game. It was us dominating the paint, especially VJ and Sean Alter. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, and also for you mentioned Sean Alter, there are a lot of second chance points that we made. There are drives sa loob na pumalya, hindi pumasok, pero there's Sean Alter, and also nakukuha din ni VJ, and then translates it into easy 2 points for us after that.
Yeah, alam mo, no-fly zone ang Diliman no? Because, soaring Falcons were not as soaring as usual.
During my interview with, I forgot, I think with Noy and VJ, isa pa I forgot. Basta sabi nila, talaga daw pinaghandaan nila because the last time that we faced them, they beat us.
So, sa Umajam.
Right, and a lot of people are expecting that it's going to be a close fight. But like you mentioned, Miles, we had early domination in the game. I think lumayo na talaga tayo on the third quarter. Nung mga first, second quarter, mga 8, 6, ang lamang.
Kasi Adamson is one of those teams na who likes to to keep things close through their defense. Tapos, in fact, parang sa UAAP, they're like the number 1 ata on points allowed. Tama ba?
Yeah. Sila number 1.
Yes.
They tend to keep their opponents within around 60 points. Ngayon, ang nangyari baliktad, sila yung na-keep in
60 points.
sila yung na-keep sa 60 points. So, ang laking kawalan ni Cedric Manza para sa kanila kasi ayun, nilalamon lang sila ng buhay ni Mr. Stark.
Yeah. One of the key things that I also noticed in this game is actually RB Poyos. Very, very quick guy. Talagang grabe. Hindi nila kaya i-keep up yung quickness at yung speed. Iba yung pace no? Pag si Ray yung nagtitimon, iba yung pace din pag si RB Poyos ang nagtitimon. So there is a different style of gameplay and preparation, for example, that each team would need to do for both of those players kasi iba sila na style.
Yeah.
The physicality of James Payosing, you can really see it clearly. It's a very dynamic team. And I feel like obviously we have a lot of weapons that we can really feature during the season, especially. We can kill them with a lot of things. And like what you said, Yata Miles, I think in one of our comments, it's slowly showing that we might have the strongest front court as of the moment. I think at least on the UAAP teams. Miles, you have something also statistically, right? You made some computation on how we're doing so far in the NSAC tournament. And somehow we're leading Yata on a lot, except for turnovers. Is that right?
Yes, correct. So we run through the live stats, the FIBA live stats page of the NSAC. So we look at the tabulations and then pinalitaw natin yung stats wherein UP stands out. So actually, as of the four games, kasi all of the teams so far prior to Sunday, kasi may na-eliminate na teams, but every team has played at least 4 games as of last Sunday. And in those 4 games, UP is number 1 in field goal percentage. We are number 2 in rebounds, number 2 to FEU. we are first in assists. So what does that say? What does that say, no? Um, that's a really complete domination profile, no? So we haven't really faced the other contenders yet, no? We only faced the teams in our group, Ateneo and CSB and LPU, as well as our round of 16 game against Adamson. So it's not really the complete picture. Ang dami pwede magbago in the coming games, but at least so far it's looking like UP is a complete team statistically. We are
Mhm.
doing what we're supposed to do. Dean Oliver in his book he wrote about the four factors, no, the four factors in which a team has a huge chance of winning, and we already hit two of them, no. Yung four factors na yun, hindi yun equal. The biggest factor is field goal percentage. So 40% yon according to him. So yung 40% na yon, tayo ang number one sa NSAC. So we have a really efficient offense in the paint. We have Gani, we have Pre, we have Payosing, we have Baila scoring in the paint. And they're all able to do so kasi we have Remogat being a threat from the outside. No? He's
Yeah.
attracting defenders on the outside. So hindi nila makumpol yung loob. So as long as Remogat is there, as long as you have to be aware na he can shoot at you from as far away as 30 feet, all of the bigs can just score inside, or our slashers. Nahihirapan sila i-cover yun. And that makes our offense very efficient. We have a really good dominance profile.
Miles,
25%. Yes,
sorry,
sige.
before you move forward, para lang doon sa mga nanonood sa atin, baka hindi masyadong ano yung technical term na field goal percentage. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Para
Yes,
naman,
It's a simple
yes, pag sinabing field goal
makes
percentage,
over
ito yung
miss.
2 points.
Makes over
Yeah,
total.
2 at 3 points specifically. No? So dalawa yan is field goals and free throws. Pupunta tayo doon sa free throws mamaya. But before that, field goals, ito yung 2-point shots and 3-point shots. So field goal percentage, like Jamo said, no, correct yung sinabi ni Jamo, it's
Makes over
the
total.
percentage of those field goals na nako-convert mo. So kung tumira ka ng 10 na combined 2-pointers at 3-pointers, kung ilan yung ma-shoot mo ron, i-divide mo siya by the number of attempts you made. Yun lang
okay.
yung field goal percentage.
So
So
yun
that's
sa
a
mga
really good
nanonood, so
determinant.
yung dami ng attempt versus sa dami ng na-shoot in the simplest term, tama? 2 points man o 3 points, tama?
Alam na nila
Correct.
yan. Malalaki na sila.
2 or 3. 2 or 3 points. So, that's I don't know, that's the biggest factor dun sa 4 factors. And then we have 3 other factors, no. The other one that we're good at, again, is rebounding. Number 1 na STU sa NSAC. Granted na yun. Meron silang Moko na they will dominate the boards. Like, pamigay na natin sa STU yun, at least we're a close second, but we're still far away from them sa field goal percentage. So that's nice. That accounts for 20%, no. The yellow flag that we have is turnovers. Bakit sinabing yellow flag yung turnover? That's the third factor. We are among the UAAP teams, tayo ang second to the last turnovers in this tournament. Medyo erratic pa, a lot of passes can be cleaned. However, bakit yellow flag? Because some of it is a natural offshoot of the way we play the game. So, kasama talaga yun, no, na we like to push and push. So, nai-impose natin yung pace na gusto nating laruin against the other teams. That's part of it. Kaya lang ang masakit doon, yung unforced errors, yung mga self-inflicted na damage, yung mga pasa natin na hindi naman dahil maganda yung depensa, pero pinasa mo lang dahil gusto mo pasikat, ng highlight.
Medyo may flair.
Flair.
Yeah.
O kaya masyado advanced mag-isip yung pumasa kesa doon sa papasahan. I mean, it naturally happens in the game. Minsan, nakita na ni passer yung mangyayari. Kaya lang si papasahan, hindi niya pa nakikita. So, turnover, di ba? So, we can clean that up. It will be improved with more chemistry. So, it's not that urgent. I wouldn't say it's urgent. We can clean it up further to create some separation with the other contenders.
Yeah.
But the true red flag is the last one, yung 10% na sinasabi ni Dean Oliver, which is the free throws. we are at 60%. We are one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the NSAC, no? Doon sa
I know,
16
right?
teams. Sa 16 teams na kasama ay ang NCAA teams, pati yung St. Clair, number 13 tayo. At 60%. 60%
So,
free
Tapos
throw shooting.
kasama ang Lasal,
Miles,
Kasama
sa
Lasal
ano
doon.
ba, sa, for example,
atrocious.
for a team, ano yung mako-consider na parang acceptable free throw percentage?
Dapat nasa 80. Dapat nasa
80.
80 and
80 ang
above.
acceptable.
Mhm.
75% pwede pa. Kasi college to, no? So mapapatawad mo, sige, gawin mo 75, pwede pa.
Wala
Pero
ka
kung
na nga
nasa
bantay
60 ka na, yeah, kung nasa 60 ka na, that's what makes the difference, no? Yung close games, in really close games, it's the free throws that matter. So,
Right.
yeah, doon sa Big Four profile na yun, we really excel in two of them more than the other team. So, we have a good starting point. Pero, I think at this point, I wouldn't say na ahead na tayo sa iba. No? If we're talking about power rankings, siguro 1A, 1B lang tayo with LaSalle. Because LaSalle has the best turnover profile. Sila ang may pinaka-konting turnovers in this tournament. So they're controlling the ball well. And I think, surprisingly, they're shooting better than sa free throw than us. No? So
Mhm.
that's the other factor in this tournament. No? So, but they matter less than the field goal percentage and the rebounding. That's why I would still say na 1A tayo. But if we want to become a clear 1 at number 2 lang sila, we should clean up our self-inflicted damage, which is the turnover and the missed
And free
throw.
throws.
Yeah.
I'll just probe further on the turnover. Factor ba, you mentioned factor yung kind ng game ng UP, which is yung mabilis.
Pressure. Mabilis,
Diba?
pressure.
Ma-pressure, mabilis, yung in transition, mabilis. So, comparing lang to, kasi Lasal is number 1 sa turnover. Ibig sabihin sila yung pinaka mahusay na
Konti.
mag-keep ng ball. Ano yung difference sa play nung dalawang team?
Well, ang main point guard kasi ng Lasal si Cortez, no? And Cortez isn't really an open court guy. Mas deliberate yung play style niya, no? He likes going to the pick and roll, setting the plays for Lasal, iset the outside shooters. Kasi in control, no? I think that's just one advantage over Remogat. Cortez seems to play more in control, no? Talagang hawakan niya muna yung bola. He makes sure na na-open yung papasahan niya, no, before he takes a shot. But that's not a knock on Noy Remogat. That's just a byproduct of the system they both play in. Remogat naturally will produce more turnovers kasi nakikita naman natin to in game. Sometimes when he gets the rebound, hindi na siya nagdribble, hindi na siya magsaset ng play. He will throw the ball to the other side of the court. And for every turnover, he also makes a really nice outlet pass to an open guy on the other end, leading to a quick two-pointer. No? Doon natin natatambakan yung mga kalaban natin sa ganun. So,
Yun yung
it
ano
comes with the
natin eh.
territory.
Oo, it comes with the system natin na nagtatribe tayo kasi sa transition plays, 'di ba?
Yeah.
And it's very prone sa sa turnovers pag ganun. In fact, I remember isa sa mga interview ni Harold before pa. Yung mga tag dito, yung mga payo niya sa mga bago. Usually, sabi, pag nakuha mo yan, pag katapos ng play, wag mo na isipin yung previous play, tumakbo ka na lang to the other side of the court. Ganun ang style ng UP eh. So, talagang takbo ka tapos you have to be ready to receive the ball. If you're not ready, then turn over.
Yeah. A lot of forward passes.
Yeah.
We'll see, obviously, we can hold on some of these good statistics as we move on to a more unfamiliar venue of Rason. It cannot be, napaka, counter opposite lahat ng advantages natin sa BTC mawawala. The only person that might be familiar sa Razor is si Ogana. So siya lang, no? And we will be matched against one of those familiar opponents na natatalo tayo sa mga unfamiliar venue, ang NU Bulldogs, ang bagong mukha ng NU. So quickly lang, ano sa palagay nyo ang to expect on this match? We're still coming in as favorites, I guess, for that particular match, no?
So,
Yes,
I think
correct.
ang noticeable, wala na si their main
Figueroa,
point guard
Manansala.
before. Figueroa,
Nash.
Manansala, at si
Steve
Steve Nash.
Yes.
But the aparadors are still there.
Yeah.
And they needed to
Umamoy.
figure out some of their games, no? I mean, palagi na lang, I think in their last 2 games, natatambakan sila ng konti, nalalamangan sila ng kalaban, tapos sumahabol na lang sila sa dulo. So it hasn't been also easy for the NU Bulldogs, and we'll see if they'll be able to figure things out also.
We'll see if si Humamoy may maturity na sa game niya.
Yeah.
Medyo
Yung
hindi
Humamoy
natin
ang
kita yun
impactful.
in the previous seasons Tapos dahil na si Tebel din.
Yeah.
The swing factor here will be if very quickly lang, if Tebol and Humamoy can advance very quickly, no, sila yung dalawang kinakailangan mag-step up. But in terms of stepping up, in terms of main men, meron na sila. It's TJ Palacielo. He top scored in their round of 16 game against Arellano. Kinain niya ng buhay yung big na Arellano. He was playing better than Mo Diazana. And I think it will be interesting to see the battle of the front courts, no. Meron tayong mga aparador, meron sila mga aparador. So magbabanggaan yung mga aparador natin.
Yeah.
Depende na lang kung gawang Nara, Kamagong, o kung ano man ang mga aparador nila.
Speaking on the maturity of one of our aparadors, I would like to highlight one of our key players in their last match also, or at least in the preseason so far, Sean Stark-Alter. Alam mo yung ating sentro. Yeah. Center power forward natin sa UP Fighting Maroons, who joined us back in 2023. He'll be coming in playing his 4th season, this season 89. So he came from Volcano Vista High School, 2-time state champion. He also played well in the Smart NBTC finals and Phil Nation Select, averaging at 5.7 and 3.0 rebounds in that particular run. And he joined us on season 86. We can clearly see his maturity, in the last few games that we had, and this season. And he's probably going to be one of the more senior members of the team also, playing as center. And his development is quite apparent. And later on, we'll be discussing as well, diba? Parang what will our front court deliver and bring this particular season, no? So what are your thoughts so far on the development of Sean Alter? And what are you quite happy at least on what he has been seeing?
I'm impressed. He's actually more mobile, I would say, right now.
Agile.
He's more agile. He parang napaka-komportable na niya sa position na nilalaro niya, which is 4 and 5. Yeah, he will be a problem. At sana magtuloy-tuloy ito. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tapos parang ma-sure siya sa mga shots niya, not as tentative as the way he would, shoot the ball after a rebound. I think from season 86 to 87, we've seen glimmers of his brilliance during off-season tournaments. So, syempre may feedback na, nako, bakit pagdating sa UAAP medyo tentative. But now, the way we're seeing him play, there's that, it's a combination of experience in Philippine basketball, maturity, and that confidence that translates into his shots na mas sure, mas may diin, mas may exclamation point sa dulo.
Laki tulong ng 3x3 niya And siguro for our 3x3 players, si Mig, si LA, dahil na si Sean din, di ba? Makita natin yung nabibring nila sa 5-on-5 game from the 3x3.
Yeah, a confident Sean Alter will be a problem, especially if you combine him with a Franny, with a Gani, who has been playing well as well so far, and then perhaps Miles as well, which is our new FSA as well. So that combination will be a problem, and that will be a powerhouse. And if in any case they all come in with their A game. In our last game, it was actually Sean and also Franny, who actually featured that particular match, depending on underneath the ring. So that is something that we would want to see more and more, and hopefully it also translates in the UAAP in the coming season. Okay, shifting gears as well, we've also added a person that will be helping us strengthen our front court even further, moving from the other camp, which is the FEU Tamaraos. We
Another
have
Tamaraos jump ship.
we have new coach, assistant coach, who will be joining our coaching staff, Mr. Vic Pablo, who was born from August 8, 1970, age 55 already, also nicknamed as the Conqueror, a Filipino basketball legend. He has joined the UP men's basketball coaching staff as an assistant coach under, obviously, head coach, Coach Monteverde. Pablo made the move to UP recently, and it has been described as a homecoming daw in Diliman. He expressed enthusiasm about contributing, and I'm here to work and teach and serve the UP men's basketball team. So, FEU's loss is actually a game for the UP Fighting Maroons. So thoughts, guys, what does Mr. Vic Pablo, the Conqueror, what does he add to the UP men's basketball team? Miles, your thoughts?
Yes, he's a very interesting add to our team. No? And if we will look back at the career of Vic Pablo, you can see why he's one of the perfect additions to this team actually. No? And it helps na nahawakan niya na si Fred dati in the FEU Tamaraos camp. Let's take a look back at the career of Victor Pablo. Victor Pablo, teammate ni Johnny Abarientos yan with FEU in the early 90s. And then he played as a big man. No? So makikita natin early on his UP connections, teammates niya, sina Benji Paraza, Tony Magsanov in Shell. He was a power forward. He was a
90s.
big man in the 90s.
My God.
Shell. And then na-trade siya sa Talk and Text where he became teammates with Asitao Lava and Jimmy Alapag. And doon nag-transition siya from a 4 into a 3. So nagkaroon siya na outside shot. Eventually, the dribbling followed, no? Kasi ito yung time na pumapasok yung mga Phil Foreign, Phil Ams, di ba? So we had previously big men like Coach Pochwinyo did the same, no? Coach Pochwinyo was a center sa Alaska. And then in the 2000s, naging 4 siya, no? Naging 3 even. He developed an outside shot. So, same thing with Victor Pablo. He became an outside shooter, no? And this is really nice. A really nice starting point with which to see how he can develop our players, no? So, he'll be involved in player development. And, of course,
focusing on the bigs.
This will be good for VJ Pre. Kasi for VJ Pre, nakikita natin, he is clearly being groomed to transition from a power forward or a big into a wing player.
Yeah.
No? And someone who's already done this transition in his career, si Vic Pablo, can be instrumental to helping VJ Pre. Plus VJ Pre, nandyan sila Palangka, sila Iniguez, sila Eli Andres, all of them, even Naruka,
Yes.
I think all of them, specifically yung players na nabanggit na yun, will benefit a lot from Victor Pablo teaching them a few more moves, no? Not just as traditional bigs, but also as modern bigs or even forwards, no? Yung talagang tong wing player na. Victor Pablo, aside from being teammates with Paras and Magsanok, his other UP connections, of course, two of his daughters are UP grads. So, and one of them is actually the wife of Gerson Pablo. May IG story nga siya. I think it was the IG story of
Gerson Prado.
Of the sister, si Ira Pablo, no, na Gerson Prado was nung 2018 finals, no. So it was UP versus Ateneo and FEU. Coach pa sa FEU si Pablo noon, si Victor Pablo. Pero eliminated na sila. So walang conflict of interest. He went to UPCHK and may video pa yun nasa IG story ni Ira Pablo. Victor Pablo was training Gerson Prado in preparation for the finals. One-on-one training sa CHK.
Yeah.
Hanapin niyo yun. So, may kumbaga parang foreshadowing na yun years ago ng magiging role ni Victor Pablo sa team natin. So, yan. I think it's a really, really great addition. We are so thankful that yung messages sa Facebook reached our coaching staff within 2 hours and they did not hesitate to call him.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So welcome to the UP community, Coach
Yes.
Vic. And
Yeah.
of course, we always welcome all the help coming from going to UP to ensure that well-coached ang ating mga atleta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And kung magkakaroon man ng coaching staff tournament, 'di ba? Lakas na rin ng team natin, 'di ba? Huwag na lang natin silipin masyado yung mga edad. Pero siyang lalakas grabe ang mga profile at saka mga experience ng ating mga coaching staff. Okay, para masubukan masusubukan agad ang mga wings natin at ang mga training ng mga wings natin dahil this Sunday, I think, right, makakaharap natin ang USC Growling Tigers para sa opening day ng PhilOil Eco Oil Preseason Cup. Magsisimula na ang PhilOil, hindi pa tapos ang
title
EDSA.
defense.
I know, ito na ang ating going for fourth time na tayo na championship. Actually, dapat di na tayo sumama, nasa atin na yung perpetual trophy. Pero sige lang, laban lang no? So against the USC Growling Tigers, may laban tayo sa May 17 on Sunday at 2 p.m. Kasunod na to, ang kalaban naman natin ng NU Bulldogs. So sa ating grupo, makakalaban natin lahat ng mga UAAP teams except sa UE dahil wala sila in this particular tournament, except makakalaban natin ng Gilas Youth for this particular tournament. Very, very busy yung schedule. As you guys might have noticed, may gap tayo between May 21 to June 24. Kumbaga, wala tayo sa tournament na to. Tutuloy pa rin yung tournament pero babalik tayo ng June 24. And I think it's paving the way, I think, for our Canada trip. I think na mangyayari. Pero malaking gap yun Ano pa kaya mangyayari during that time? Di natin alam. Baka may iba pa silang pupuntahan. So quite excited about this PhilOil tournament. What are your expectations, guys? Ano mga things that you're looking forward to sa PhilOil?
Bring it on. Title defense.
Yeah, go for the 4-peat.
No? Well, we have a history of winning, especially sa PhilOil games. At magandang test ito kasi masusubukan talaga natin ang team natin against the UAAP teams, no? And one of the key feature of PhilOil, as you guys mentioned, is the people that's going to be lined up here are those that are qualified to participate in Season 89. So, as we are shortlisting our team going into the UAAP Season 89, ito yung magiging true test natin from a competition. Ready pa tayo specifically.
Unahan na natin yung mga bashers. Let's go preseason champs.
Oo. Grabe na.
Found ko lang yon. Kasi 'di ba, ba't nasabi ni Mark yon? Because other leagues, they actually don't care whether UAAP eligible yung roster natin. You can add a player during the league na habang tumatakbo na yung league. Pero yung PhilOil kasi parang they adapted nga na kung sino yung UAAP eligible roster, yun lang din yung maglalaro. So, it's kind of more a foreshadowing or patikim on what's gonna happen in Season 89 dahil the roster will be cemented come the start of PhilOil. So, sino tingin nyo ang 16 na papasok? Sa very much coveted 16 slots.
Mahirap na tanong
yan. Sa mga audience natin, lista nyo, sino ba yung tingin yung 16?
Kilala ba nila lahat ng mga players natin? Well, makikita naman natin yan sa magiging lineups natin so far. Sa NSAC, nandun naman yung most of them too.
Right.
But we do have a few people that have committed already for Season 89.
May isang commit tayo na makakalaban natin, si Joaquin Tovera.
Talaga?
Under Gilas.
Under Gilas. Yeah. So, under 19. Kasama sila Chog Moral. That should be exciting. A key experience as well for the preparation of our Gilas youth. For their outing in international tournament. Grassroots. Baka mamaya after natin makalaban sila, wala na matira sa team nila. Ganun ba?
Oo.
Para sa atin na din lahat. Eto na. One of the key news is that we received also in the last week is also a Gilas youth player. UP prospect and also UP guest player Andy Himao has finally committed to a D1 school, NCAA Division 1 team, Big Ten Conference. So Andy Himao, 6'1" point guard and shooting guard, class of 2026, has committed for a D1 scholarship for Penn State, given the offer that was given to him directly by head coach Mike Rhodes. So congratulations, Andy Himao. Obviously, we've all always looked at the career of Andy, coming from high school, playing in Canada as well. And we always saw that promise that he probably can be one of those players as well who can be considered for a D1 offer. And now, we're already seeing the fruits of his labor, given the talent that he has showed, especially na nag-guest player sa atin. So lalo versus CSB Blazers, I think lalo pa siyang na-highlight, lalo pa siya nakita, I think, ng mga prospective teams that might have been looking for a talent such as his. So again, congratulations, Andy. Thank you also para pina-excite nyo rin ang laro natin in UP. Nakita pa natin siya, di ba, in the last game. I think he was there wearing street clothes. Still, alam mo yun, pag nag-uusap-usap yung coaching staff during, alam mo yung timeouts, nandun siya, nakikinig pa rin, happily listening in also. So, great news for Philippine basketball, for Philippine hoopers that are hopeful, obviously, on getting such an opportunity playing abroad, especially for the D1 conference that they have in NCAA in the US. So congratulations, Andy Himao. Mga messages nyo, mga anak. Meron pa kayo messages kay Andy?
Well, syempre, we're happy for Andy. Andy, ako, I will always find solace in knowing that whenever you're here in the Philippines, you played for UP, and because of that, we're going to be forever thankful, and we're going to forever cheer you on. Saan ka man makapunta.
Ayun. Salamat sa pagpapahiram ng talento, na pagpapamalas ng iyong talento sa UP community. Yeah, anywhere you go, full support kami sa iyo, and kaya namin yung with or without you, pero better sana kung nandito ka, pero yeah. All the best. Represent always the Filipino people wherever you go.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Robbie, thoughts?
The end of the day naman, dinadala ni Andy yung yung bandera ng Pilipinas. So I'm very proud. Happy ako sa kung anong napunta niya. So congratulations, Andy, and go ahead, Mr. Himao, make my day. Congrats.
Miles?
Andy, maraming salamat at pinasaya mo kami. Even in just a few games, not just the game you played with us sa NSAC in this tournament, but also in the previous games na you played with us in the Pinoy Liga tournament, as well as joining our team in Serbia. I think even without formally joining our team as a Fighting Maroon, you are and always will be a Fighting Maroon. Kita naman how you support the team even after your commitment to Penn State. You were still there in the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
You were supporting the team in the game against Adamson. So likewise, we will always be there behind you. You carry our flag wherever you go. You will be our pride. We are hoping that you make the National Basketball Association. But regardless of where you go in the future, we'll always be there for you. And who knows, our paths may cross again, in some form or in some manner in the future. So, best of luck and happy trails.
Somewhere down the road.
Sabi nga natin, mahal natin ang UP. Mahal din ni Andy ang UP, pero mas mahal natin si Andy. And this is for him, and this is for the country, and also for the future. Andy, you always have a home in UP when you're here. Much like Carl, much like Francis, or the Maroon 5, you can always practice with us, play with us, diba? Tell us about your journey and your adventures in the US. And do well. You will always have a home in UP. So make us proud, Andy.
Yeah, UP's adopted son mo.
So yun, doon nagtatapos ang ating episode sa Uptakes Podcast. Magmanman ng mga ayos. Mag-like, mag-subscribe at mag-follow sa Uptakes Podcast. And lagi tayong maging pro-country, di ba? Labanan natin ang ating kalayaan at maging
ipaglaban, hindi labanan.
Oo, gusto ko yung t-shirt mo. Gusto mo yung t-shirt ni Jello, di ba? Tama yan.
I just want to say hi to Tito Eric Baila and Lola Leti Baila. Tito Eric, thank you for the kalabaw na mangga na binigay mo.
Daming mangga ngayon, naglalaglagan nga sa mga puno, di ba?
Also, shout out to our listeners na who continue to say hi to us sa mga games. Yeah, we appreciate the love. We appreciate na yung nakikipag-interact kayo sa amin, kami mga inverter kasi kami minsan
Saka gusto nyo ba yung ng merch? Gusto niyo ba ng shirt? Ganon. Kasi sabi ni Jamo, kailangan daw natin ng identity. At syempre, I think yung mga followers natin at audience natin, baka gusto nyo magsuot ng uptake shirt din. So, tingnan natin.
Yeah, let us know down the comments what you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Guys,
yeah.
Adlaw.
Abangan sa this week. Abangan this week. We have some basketball news coming up. Abangan, may lalabas in a few days. So, yeah. Something to be excited about.
Oh, bagong recruit ba yan? O ano ba ito?
May unboxing.
Nagbago na daw ng rule ang UAAP. Kahit nakapaglaro ka sa pro, pwede ka mag-UAAP. So, babalik si Carl, babalik si JD, si
Itong rule na
Francis.
yan.
UAAP, ano daw? Mga all-stars ba na
Oo, UAAP all.
across
Ang hirap
eras?
naman. Anyway, abangan natin ang balita na yan. Tuloy-tuloy ang laban natin sa
Yeah.
off-season tournaments and we'll be there. And you'll be here, obviously, listening to us and everything that we say. Again, this is Mark, Jello, Jamo, Ravi, and also Miles. Keep listening on the Uptakes podcast. And as always, guys, UP Fight!
UP5.
UP5.